You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's After Show.
Hey. What up, y'all? Welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV's The Lottery After Show. You know how we do. This is episode 2. It's called Rules of the Game. And we get the rules of the game this week. We get the breakdown, the pre-screening process. Anyway, what up, everybody? I'm Stephaune. I'm hosting here with some beautiful ladies that are super fertile and ready, viable candidates for embryo,
You are tripping.
human embryos.
Ain't nobody got time for that right now. No.
Is it just because we're Latinas?
Hey,
Really?
I'm just saying. I would hope. I wish.
So definitely not ready.
I wish fertilization upon you all.
Oh, thank you.
Fertile number 1, please introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. I'm Monsi.
Hey guys, I'm Candice.
Hi, I'm Marina.
Hi, I'm Stephaune. And
He's the most fertile
Stephaune,
of us all.
he has some babies
just
out
throwing
there.
It out there.
No, I know I'm pretty fertile. That's why I keep my hands to myself. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no trouble. I don't need nothing happening right now. But so in case y'all missed it, pilot episode. It's the year 2025. No kids have been born in over 6 years or around 6 years, and in the last 6 years, there's only been 6 kids born. Elvis being one of them. We all like little cute Elvis. I don't feel so good. Elvis is always
Adorable.
yeah.
I had 2 cupcakes.
That was cute. So also just noteworthy, there are 100 fertilized viable human embryos that have now been concocted or whatever. Fertilized in a lab chemically. By the doctor. So let's talk a little bit about, since we already started with Elvis, I want to talk about Elvis and his kidnapping father, Mr. Kyle Walker.
See, he's not kidnapping him. That's his son.
He stole his own kid. That's
He
true.
did not.
I agree.
Yeah, but they stole the kid from him first.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And they shot him up with like a
Yeah, that does.
Yeah.
They put a little like a tracking device.
Tracking
like
device
he's
in
like
the
an
kid.
animal.
like a
Yeah.
dog. Yeah.
Yeah, that was very strange.
Do you have
Yeah.
a tracking device in your dog? Just
He actually does have a chip in case he gets lost and they find him.
is that due to your lack of motherhood abilities?
That is due to the fact that my dog is crazy
Oh.
and chases things that move quickly. That is why.
All right.
Objects move quickly, there he goes.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
that's why. Why are you hating?
No, I ain't hating. I'm just trying. I'm actually pre-screening you for motherhood here.
Let's talk about Elvis.
Okay, back to
Yeah,
Elvis.
better.
So Cal, he kidnaps Elvis from the hospital or wherever he was, that weird negative hospital. It's all dark and gloomy, and now they're fugitives on the run, and he runs right to the arms of this chocolate woman that he. Cal. I think Cal's got a little bit of jungle fever, a little bit. They seem like they have history, Miss Camille.
You know what I asked him when we were watching it? I wonder if Kyle's the father of her daughter.
You know what we said last week. He's got the magic stick.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I just thought that there was history. I thought that they just were both one of the last few parents or last few people that became parents.
Yeah.
Because her daughter is one of the 6. So
Yeah.
I didn't know if there was romantic history, but I knew there was history. But I like them together. They look good. He's cute. She's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Kyle may be the key to all 6 of those kids. Wouldn't that be awesome?
That's a prediction right there.
Wouldn't that be awesome,
That
though?
would actually be the good job if that's the way the story is going.
Yeah.
That'd be
Well,
great.
we already know that he is the one that they use his
sperm.
His sperm for
Right.
the
Brooke
Yeah,
Ashton's.
for Brooke
Yeah.
Ashton's and
Yeah.
probably other ones.
Mr. Cal, he's getting around.
Mr. Kyle.
So-
He's
At
real
least his
tough.
sperm is.
His what?
At least his sperm is.
And he's real cute.
Yeah.
Shout out to Michael Graziadei, who plays
Yes.
Kyle.
Yes,
Good job.
please. You can infertilize us.
Hey, unfertilize me.
no,
listen,
no,
listen,
no.
Michael Graziadei. I'm not included in
yeah,
that. No, I'm kidding.
Speak for yourself.
No babies.
But we do have some fertile women in it. So now we get to see Kyle. You know, he has other skill set. He's not just the gigolo that we knew him to be in the pilot episode, but he's also on an insulin mission. So cute little Elvis is allowed to have a cupcake. We know that he's a diabetic, and he can only have one. But Elvis actually takes two. And you're not even mad at him, right? He goes,
You
"I
can't
took
be
two."
mad at a cute little face.
I would take 2.
You would, too?
Yeah, 3 more, whatever they.
You're trying to
a
kill
kid.
yourself. You see what I'm saying?
Whatever I could get my hands on. I'm a kid. I want candy. I want sweets. You know,
Yeah.
you don't think about the consequences of it.
Yeah.
Well, he took 2, and now he's feeling sick, and he needs the his insulin. He's broken a bunch of them, and off goes Kyle Walker to the rescue. We get to watch Kyle be a not just an action hero. You know, it was kind of Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
You know, they should have played some music for him. But he's also tech savvy. Broke out his iPad and shut down all the computers and concocted a
it
scheme.
wasn't really an iPad. Did you see that thing? It was like see-through. It was like a piece of glass. It was very
It's like
futuristic.
the iPads
Yeah.
from like 2025.
Yeah.
They're all see-through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, it was cool.
Candice knows it's
Yeah,
the
duh.
2025
She
iPad.
came back from the future.
She's already seen. She's already seen it. Yeah, but I was shocked. So he knows his way around a computer, and you know, obviously he's got kind of the balls to creep in and find the insulin and steal it in his backpack.
It was kind that he apologized before he went in.
Forgive me, Lord.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did.
I didn't see him
He
do
asked
that.
for forgiveness,
Aw.
and he says, "I'm going to sin."
Okay.
And you know, it kind of shows that he was doing what he had to do to survive, but he's not a bad person. He's not in
desperate.
general a thief.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just shows that despair he has just to, keep his son alive.
Totally. And it must be tough to be watched by everybody. He be watched and his son be so sheltered by the world because nobody wants anything to happen to him. Like, it's already tough being a parent. Imagine being a single parent while every single person is criticizing what you do.
Micromanaging.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, it's got to be hard. So I'm rooting for him. Go steal what you got to do.
Yep.
Take care of your son.
I kind of feel like there's no way that he can. There's almost nothing he can do. He can keep his son away for a limited amount of time, but everybody's looking for you, and now you're a fugitive. Now they can say you've broken the law. Now they can pull you up on some charges. There's no way out.
Well, not necessarily. He's
trying to
getting passports to leave the country.
Yeah, he wants
yeah.
to leave the country. Once he's out of the country, they can't really just.
Yeah, but
cross
you
the
show up out of
border.
the country. You show up in Canada with a 6-year-old, and people are going, "When'd you get a 6-year-old? Hold on,
Well,
nobody's
you know
had a
what?
6-year-old."
I feel like they might be happy about it.
And the for next week, the previews, they changed his age to 10 years old. He asked him to the passport, which is smart. So.
That is smart,
Yeah.
yeah. Because everybody
There you
knows
go.
about the final 6. So, yeah, I don't think running is gonna help.
Yeah,
Oh, it's not. They're. At some point they're gonna catch them, and there's going to be trouble.
I mean,
But-
kids are like the focal point of the entire world right now. Anywhere you see kids, just kind of transitioning into what's happening with the government, there's espionage happening everywhere.
Yeah.
Because everybody's like, there's eggs, there's fertilization, there's kids. We want in, So I don't think you can run anywhere.
It's true. And an article about the lottery, BuzzFeed, they wrote it's interesting. Check it out. It's like what the world would be without kids, and it's kind of crazy just to check it out. But they
Oh,
put down upon the
I'll go
lottery,
read it. I
so-
like BuzzFeed.
Yeah.
The world without kids. I don't know how to do it. There was an interview on this where they interviewed that one lady who had just signed up to be one of the viable candidates for the lottery. And she was saying, me and my husband, we really just want to be parents.
You don't feel
And-
complete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that. Imagine there's people who make a choice nowadays in our society, and they're like, I don't want to have kids, or I don't want to raise kids, or whatever. More power to you. But imagine you don't even have the option.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's insane.
Right.
So I don't know.
Especially because it's our nature, right? Like
Sure.
to procreate and keep the population going, and you can't do it anymore. You must feel like like a failure, and I can understand those women being like, I need this. That's why I came to this world to do. I'm supposed to be a mom, and not being able to do that has to be very, very difficult.
And you kind of feel bad for the women because the lottery paints a pretty picture that everyone's going to have an equal opportunity to be mothers, and it ain't going to happen.
I mean, that shows that that's really the government. That shows the truth side of the situation, that if we were to ever be in that type of scenario in life, that's the information we would get. And in reality, that's probably what would be happening. Because I don't think you can make that as democratic as you want. It's impossible.
No.
How can you just you have to do some sort of you looking over the information, because if it's all done by computer processing, you can end up with somebody who at some point, was maybe not capable of being a mother or a father, if they were into drugs or all of that stuff needs to be taken into consideration. So I don't think there's a way to make it fully democratic.
No.
I think it does have to have government involvement.
They said they have to be between 18 and 32. They have to go through a physician of their choice to get tested for everything possible. And that's just to enter the lottery, right? That's just to be able for your name to be in there.
Which is the start of the rules of the game. They start to break down exactly how you would qualify. There's a whole pre-screening process for all surrogate mothers, possible or potential surrogate mothers. And it's funny. They're sitting around, here's the president and chief of staff and, secretary of defense or whoever else he's got around this table. And they're trying to figure out, how do we choose a good mother? Yeah. And it's like, how can you tell who's going to end up being?
There's no different way.
There's no scientific breakdown.
And they made a very good point that it's two completely different things to say a person
to be a surrogate
and to be a good mother, right? Because somebody just may be very fertile and have good genes, but they wouldn't be a good mother.
Yeah.
So it's a really hard thing to pick.
It's a catch-22, which is wild that they even created this to have a lottery to allow regular folks to have some type of responsibility over this. Darius, our favorite guy on the show, he actually said, to the president, what should the government's role be in this? I think should we be the mother?
He says we should have some sort of ownership.
Yeah.
And I love how the president, he wants to make it a democracy, make it fair. And Darius no, we're going to take this into our own hands. Yeah. And it shows at the end of it, the episode, he's like, well, presidents come and go. So it's kind of foreshadowing. Oh, no, we're going to lose our Latino president.
I know.
Not
yet.
No, I don't think they can do anything to the president. You can't just kill him off.
You never know.
Yeah,
Him
you
and
can.
Darius and Vanessa.
It has happened before.
True. Darius was saying stuff like our embryos, and he's really taking full possession of this
He
whole
wants
thing.
to have a military base and have all of the 100 women live there, and then they can control who goes in and out and what they're doing, their whole life. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, which is not what pregnancy is about. It's not what motherhood is about, to be controlled. Yeah, I don't see how that could work, but it seems as though he's going to push it. I thought he would have dropped it by the end of the episode, but I don't think so. I think he's going to keep pushing, and like you said, he's going to go around the president.
Yeah.
Yeah, he brings in, he tries to make an alliance with the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, and they came in and they said, hey, listen, Mr. President, I feel like the military should oversee the surrogates. And the president's like, I'm not having that. He's like, people have to have some form of hope. They need to feel a part. People have to be able to feel like we're moving forward in life. This is something that has shocked the world and stopped, the world as we know it. And he's like, we need to be picking it up now. So he's like, I'm not going with that. And Darius is he's pretty diabolical, this guy.
Yeah. I think they're go ahead. I think they're thinking separately. I think the president thinks this is hope. This is not going to be the last embryos that they're going to have.
Sure.
And I think Darius is thinking this is all we're going to have. So we should have full control. I just think they're thinking that the world is going to go different ways.
Yeah, but if you think about it, he does have a point. As much as we all hate him, he does have a point.
Absolutely.
People can just come and try to kidnap those pregnant women or steal their babies, or they do have they are in a way responsible for this 100 women that they're picking, because they're putting them in this situation. So they need safety.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to do that when everybody is spread out throughout the country, doing their
whatever
own
they
thing.
want. Yeah.
Already all hell's breaking loose. If you see for next week, previews for next week, they have Nathan held captive and they want 5 embryos. Yeah. And I have a feeling Vanessa will be like, we ain't giving you anything to take them. Poor Nathan.
Well, I mean, the stakes are super high with because we're looking at it like, okay, there's 100 possible kids that can now be on the planet, but the flip to that is, if anything happens to these 100 kids, that's the end. We don't have any more magic potion to make up to fertilize these eggs. You know what I'm saying? They actually they've put back to work Dr. what's her name? Dr. Lennon, and she's going, I don't know how I did it,
Yeah.
And they deleted all the information from the database, right? So
which was stupid.
Right. They thought one thing, and it wasn't that specific thing that she thought. I forget what it was, like a chemical. And now they have nothing to look back into to figure it out.
But we don't know who deleted that, right?
No, we still don't know who, but it seems kind of obvious.
They didn't want another Brooke
Darius.
Ashton situation, so that's why they took care of it. And I have a
Brooke
feeling
Ashton.
Darius,
Shout
girlfriend.
out to Brooke, man. Brooke's gone. Sorry.
Great
Brooke.
eyebrows.
Great eyebrows, man.
It's hilarious.
Dang. So the lottery's getting underway, which is exciting. Women are signing up. People are starting to feel like there is hope. There is something they can be a part of. But there's all these cross storylines. Our girl, the chief of staff, Vanessa, is first off, she's boning Nathan, which is great to see. I always like everybody getting having a good time. So I don't know. Nathan Mitchell and Vanessa have been going in together, and Nathan, man, Vanessa's kind of cold.
Very cold. He wanted to take her on a date when he would get back. She's like, no,
But
we're
She's
good.
like, I like things the way we are.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
it probably
so
makes
dirty.
their relationship very exciting, right? Because they're so bickering against each other, and she's so mean to him. And then you get into in the bedroom, you can only imagine what happens.
Well, their relationship is just pure sex outside of work.
For her, she's like not even attached. There's no type of connection there outside of, hey,
She's
let's
just
hook
like,
up
I
and
need
knock
some
this
booty,
out. Yeah.
and you're doing it.
Poor Nathan, man. In this entire series, I feel like it's the reverse for men and women. I feel like women are just
have the upper hand.
bosses in this thing, and you guys are telling us how it goes, and guys are just like, okay, being taken advantage of.
Oh, please.
It's probably because of the situation. Because the whole I feel like when you think of a child, you think of a woman.
Okay.
So it's probably because of the situation that naturally the women are coming to be the leaders and be like, we have embryos that without us, you can't do anything. Yes, it's true. Without sperm, we can't do anything. But literally, if you have sperm and an egg fertilized, the man is useless. So
You're useless.
It's in that situation, the man is useless. So maybe right here in this situation, like I said, the women just feel,
Wow.
we are the reason that the world will keep going.
And I kind of feel like, so you can't get pregnant.
Right.
You don't have to worry about it. So you kind of just do what you want. Like, give me some of that. I'll try this today. I'll try that tomorrow. Whatever. I can't get
I think
pregnant.
there are still STDs.
Yes.
In 2025?
I'm just throwing it out there.
They got a cure for anything by now, 2025. They got iPads that are clear and cool.
That's in
hopefully.
11 years. That's so close. 11 years. I thought
close.
this thing would have been 20, 70 or
50,
something.
yeah.
But it's also scary because it has that sense of, it's reality.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. And it is in a way happening already.
Yeah.
People are, very young people are not being able to have
children.
kids.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to get on it. 2025. I'll be Yeah, I need to go ahead and knock my kids out.
I have a feeling women watched this episode last week and went to their gynecologist and asked to freeze some eggs. I think there should be a study done.
Freeze them eggs.
Yeah, freeze them
I
eggs,
bet. That'd be
Ooh.
interesting.
Freeze them eggs. So, all right. So she's trying to flip it. She's got her own agenda, and I like it. I think Vanessa's really hot, but she's also powerful. She's building her brand. I feel like her agenda is to one day be president, and she's working all the leads and all these men. President Westwood, that is our Latino president.
Shout out to Vazquez who plays him. Really good job.
Yeah.
He's like, he's just that kind president. Like,
You believe he's president?
Yeah.
Yes.
You kind of feel for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. 12 countries are already making legal claims for these eggs. I don't even know how you do that. It's like, hey, we fertilized some eggs, and your country goes, those are ours.
Yeah.
What?
Well, they talk about some sort of alliance.
Yeah.
And I think that's why
The
this is happening.
G25 fertility
Right.
alliance.
So I want
that
more
is.
background on what that actually is and what it entitles, for countries to think that they can just be like, hey,
Sure.
give me some.
Yeah, I know. It kind of so now we have these eggs, and we've become like a superpower. These other countries are looking at us, and they're saying, we're kind of the front runners. Mm-hmm. Everybody else can die. You know what I'm saying?
When hasn't the U.S.
continue.
been though?
Yeah.
Oh.
Another debate.
Well, no, I mean like in TV shows. I mean in
Yeah,
TV shows. Like
Yeah.
The Last Ship is the
Right.
same thing. We just
We're just talking about how the military is portrayed or how people think of the
Yeah.
American military. And it's just, like how has the States never been portrayed that way
Yeah.
on entertainment? You're right.
Yeah, it's mostly Go America.
it's done
Which
by
is
us.
fine, but
It's done by us,
exactly.
so-
That's what I was just gonna say. It's done by Americans, so it should be.
Yeah, we ain't gonna make us look weaker or
Yeah,
softer.
exactly.
Oh,
We're gonna build this up. It's like telling a story about yourself. You ain't never gonna sound
For sure.
like you were the worst. You're like, everybody else was terrible, but we were awesome. Which leads me to all the lies and deceit that we are putting out there. The president's like, listen, how many more eggs do we have after this? We need to get new eggs fertilized. It's about bringing hope, optimism. We need people saying, not only are we the superpower now, but we are the front runners forever, the trailblazers. So I feel him. I felt like he's a little bit greedy, though. I'm like, damn, you just got 100 eggs. Now you want 500 more? Sheesh.
I mean, they don't even know if it's going to work,
Yeah.
right? Because they could put those eggs in somebody and they can miscarriage.
They can miscarry. They could die. You can die anytime.
Yeah.
That is true.
That's
You know
so
what I'm
true.
saying?
Yeah.
That is
Ain't no
true.
guarantee you live because you got a baby in you.
And doesn't
know?
the embryo have to attach to the person? Like you can't just put the embryo in the
I'm
person.
sure it has to attach to the wall of the
Yeah,
uterus.
because if it doesn't attach, then it's useless.
No,
so there's
it's-
so many
yeah,
things about it.
it's
Yeah.
accurate.
I have no idea. I'm looking at y'all like, well, this
He's
is
just nodding.
interesting.
Yeah, whatever.
This
you
is
guys
very
are saying.
interesting.
But that's also why they blackmail Alison to give that speech
Yeah.
against her will.
Yeah.
She, did her research and found out that the contract she signed didn't state that she had to lie. But then,
They flipped it on her. So let's
She
talk about
shouldn't
her against her will.
She shouldn't have said anything to them. She should have just gone and gave the
that's
speech.
what I told.
She's
Yeah.
stupid.
Like, why did she have to go in and be like, I don't have to lie?
Because, man,
Because-
white people always feel entitled. They always want to say
White
something like I have.
Good thing we're all
I got-
Latinos.
Sorry, white people, but y'all be doing stuff backwards. I'm gonna say something right now. You ain't got no rights. First off, she was stolen at the top of the show. She was kidnapped. Taken to blindfolded, taken to this compound that she don't know what it is, but we found out it's the Department of Humanity, which apparently you can do anything you want there.
Yeah.
Kill people if you want
Right?
to.
I know.
And Darius, who runs everything, he's the dark horse. He's like, we gonna waterboard this chick. Literally, she is being treated like a
Yeah, but
terrorist.
it was
She's
so
being
weak.
tortured.
Come on, let's talk about that scene.
It's on
It
Lifetime.
It was awful.
It's Lifetime.
I was
They're
like,
not
that does
gonna
not look like torture. Like they're feeding her water
It
through
looked like
a napkin.
I liked it. Looked like torture to me.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it was.
It wasn't the quantity of water being dropped. It was like ding, a little stream, like ding, ding,
You were
ding,
just
on her
supposed to
mouth.
know that they were about to torture her.
Right.
Because I don't think they showed anything, but I think that's on purpose because of where
Yeah.
the show airs. But I was like, she's getting tortured. I never didn't think it was not
Right.
torture.
That's why I kind of wish that
She's
they
all
hadn't
getting mad.
showed anything.
She's all excited.
That,
Kill her!
that scene showed the severity of like what her punishment was, because when she asked to see a lawyer, and he's like, no, anything when it's all like when you commit a fertility crime, he's like, you give away all your rights.
Yeah.
You don't even get a lawyer.
That's
it's
crazy.
So in 2025, that's like the deal. But again, I know it is Lifetime, and it's props to Lifetime for trying something different and
yeah.
getting
Oh, yeah.
new viewers in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So props to that. But poor Alison Lennon.
Yeah, man, she is now a terrorist. She is a criminal. she's arrested for stealing an embryo. She did that. And whenever it's a fertility crime, you have 0 rights. So she gets waterboarded. It was a weak waterboarding, but she got it. She didn't even... When they came back, I thought she would be like shaking and stuff.
Yeah,
She
they
just, like,
didn't
sitting
show
there.
anything. Yeah, I kind of wish that they didn't show anything, right? They just strapped it to the, and then maybe they show some tools, right? But then they didn't show anything, or we just heard her screaming.
She didn't even scream. That's
No.
right.
Well,
I guess she can't
you
scream.
can't really scream.
Well, do you guys believe that she really gave the embryo back? Because I was hoping like, maybe she gives something, because, she's a scientist. Maybe she could swap it out and she impregnate herself.
I don't know. She's pretty smart. She
Wow.
does do some...
That was a great
She
prediction.
mapped some things out, but I think she had to give him the embryo back. So what happens is, essentially for everybody, they give her kind of the proposal, which I thought it was a bad time for like a compromise. It's like, sorry, we just tortured you. But if you'd like to give us the embryo back, we'll give you your job back. It's not like, here's $1 million, and you can go live your life. It's like, we'll give you you can still work for us.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I don't like this proposal. But they're trying to make her the scientific face of the lottery and bring all these people hope and say all these different things. So she had to give a speech.
Yeah.
And in her speech, she did give people false hope and lies and deceit and a lot of BS. But it was all because she didn't want them to kill James Lynch, her little nighttime partner. Her little sex buddy.
But he gave her some good advice, though, to do the speech, because the world's going to identify with her face.
It's true.
And they're
I mean,
not
they
gonna
can't
kill her.
they can't just go and kill her or make her disappear now.
Shoot, I don't know. I just go on living my life. Like, I'm not trying to...
So if you were Dr. Lennon, you would just say, no, thank you, I don't want my job back. I'm just going to live my life.
Yep. I'd say to myself...
That's not the American mindset, Stephaune.
I would say to myself, shoot, I could have died today. These people kidnapped me. Nobody knew where I was. Tortured me. The only reason I got saved is because I had this stupid egg that was fertilized. I'm going to give them this egg back. Sorry, y'all. And I'm going to go live my life.
Now, do you think that was an option? Because it kind of made it seem to me that it was like, well, you're either with us or you're in heaven.
Yeah, I'm with you too. I think there was no option. This was just like this was the only way she was going to survive. And do I agree with the way she delivered the speech? I think she felt that she was in a corner, but she, might have something up her sleeve. Maybe, like she hasn't just sit back and let people try and take over the situation. She's been fighting it the whole time.
Right.
So for her to just kind of give the speech something maybe she has something up her sleeve.
See, but that's my thing. Roll your sleeves down then if you got something up your sleeve. Stop. You can't beat them.
Then the show would be over. We need her to roll her
We need
sleeves.
her, huh?
We need her.
We need you,
She's
Dr.
our
Lennon.
lead.
We need you to find how to make more embryos.
We need you to be a white lady that doesn't give up and doesn't quit and still wants to have something
What
up
are
your
you
sleeve.
insinuating?
Even though these people can kill you. Okay.
At any
We
point.
need it. At any point, you can die. You got kidnapped walking out your house. You just got tortured and can't tell nobody about it.
She will die for the babies.
Go ahead, then. You go die for the babies. We gonna watch you die for the babies for the rest of this season. Anyway, so in closing, 200 women have been selected or are being selected.
Are being selected.
And they're going to throw them into a pool of what they're calling eligible candidates. And, we saw that hostages have been taken.
Well,
at
those
the end of this
200 women,
episode.
you forgot to mention, they're going to get interviewed.
Oh,
they're
yeah.
going to get sent to Washington,
They got to go
D.C.,
through a
right?
process.
And they're going to get interviewed by Vanessa, and that's what she implied. She's like, they should be interviewed by us.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So 200 women, get ready to be on your best behavior and pull out your resumes and your sexual history. I don't know what you got to tell them.
I
know?
don't know. I've
Clean-
never been
clean
in
bill
this
of health.
situation.
Clean bill of health.
Clean bill of health. And then they hit us with the big drama at the end, which is 5 hostages have been taken. 4 hostages taken, I think, and 5 embryos is the request. They want, give us 5 of those eggs.
Yeah.
In China somewhere, huh?
Shanghai.
Yeah.
So poor Nathan Mitchell, all he wanted was for Vanessa to be his girl and them live happily ever after with no kids. But now he's a hostage in Shanghai. That's what happens to you if you don't just shut your mouth. Anyway, let's
Well,
talk
that's going to
about...
be happening the whole show. People are going to
Yeah.
want these eggs.
Yeah.
I know. It's going to get worse and worse.
Crazy.
Oh, yeah. This
It's
is
going to get worse
just
and worse.
the beginning.
I don't even think this lottery can actually happen. That's a part of my predictions, Phil.
Starting predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
The lottery will never, ever happen. It
That's
can't. The eggs are going to constantly be warred over. There's going to be people going to come from far and wide, the Middle East, Asia, Southeast Asia, anywhere you can think. And everybody's going to want one of these eggs, and it's only 100. So there will not be a lottery.
Okay. I don't agree with it.
I second that.
My prediction is that they're going to give 5 other eggs to the people in Shanghai, like fake eggs, not the actual.
Shanghai would be stupid to take some fake eggs.
Well, I think they're gonna find a way to make them look like they are fertilized eggs,
Okay.
and that's how they're gonna be able to get the people back. I think, well, this is kind of more far ahead, but Dr. Lennon, is that his name?
Yeah.
Dr. Lennon and the hot dad
Kyle.
Kyle are going to become a team.
Oh.
They're gonna start working together. Obviously, he's the fertile one in the world, and
Sure.
they kind of want the same thing, right? They want to do the right thing. They don't want this lottery to happen. We don't know Kyle's opinion, but I feel like he would want the eggs to go to the right people, and they're gonna start working together to stop what's going on.
See, that's my issue. If I'm Kyle and I already have a son, I don't care about y'all eggs. Get away from me with those eggs.
Yeah, but he's never going to be free,
I
It's
got
like,
my kid. I'm straight.
except people are chasing you.
Until he starts making more babies. So those.
Because he's fertile. Kyle is
Ease up a
fertile.
little. It's not a prediction. You see in the teaser for next week that Kyle gets caught and they're gonna take little Elvis, and I think Kyle's gonna go on the run with maybe Camille. I think Camille's gonna get in trouble for housing him, and they're probably gonna take her daughter away as well.
Geez, see,
Um,
man,
okay.
her daughter's cute.
Yeah,
cute.
she's adorable. I think Kyle's gonna get, like we see, he's gonna get kidnapped, or the someone's gonna take him. But I think that they're gonna offer him something, because I think Dr. Lennon is gonna say, we need him. I
Yeah.
need him to
Yeah,
figure it
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Because she knows about him already.
She knows about him, and that's the only name that
I
they
agree.
have. So I think that they're gonna capture him, and they're gonna make it seem like they're gonna kill him or something, and then Vanessa's gonna walk in and say, "This is a situation." So, and it's gonna be an offer that he has to take, and yeah. So I think that's how they get together. That's how
they
he
connect.
starts. Exactly. That's how they're gonna.
I think
connect.
Vanessa's going to use her power in that moment and say, "This is the new offer," and take him in the back room. Heard you can fertilize eggs, baby. Come on in here,
I
Kyle.
don't think she wants it. I think out of the whole world, she's the one that is like, no, I don't want kids because I want to.
You're right. She would be so powerful
Yeah,
that's
if she
true.
could have a baby.
That's true.
She
out
would
of
be
natural,
so
out
powerful.
of not being.
That is true.
That's a part of her brand.
Implemented.
She's trying to build her brand.
That's true.
Yeah.
She's like the last.
Girl
little-
got plans.
And she gonna pull
That's
Kyle in that
sad.
room.
Using a kid.
Man, I gotta say, Lifetime. I mean, I don't know what the budget is, but y'all didn't let Camille's daughter have one line. She's so cute. She could at least said like, "Hey" or "Hi" or "That's
Did she
what's
not say
wrong."
anything?
She didn't say one
Are
word.
you sure?
Are you sure?
I kept looking at her the whole time. Like,
She
when is
said
the cute girl gonna speak?
something
Speak?
to him. To the,
Give her a line,
Elvis.
Lifetime. Cut her a check. Right now, she's doing extra work right now. Anyway,
That's hilarious.
I'm wild. Don't listen to me. I'm crazy. Yeah, thank y'all for watching. Remember, go to iTunes and check us out. Go to YouTube, check us out. Thumbs up us, write in, tell us stuff, comment, rate us high, 5 stars, because I got hot girls with me, so I deserve it. I don't know, join us again next week. We're going to see what's going on. And thank you for kicking with us. I am Stephaune, and on my Instagram and Twitter, you can follow me at I Am More Fire.
I'm Monsi. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Monsi Bolanos.
And I'm Candice. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Candy Buen.
And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Rena Brazil.
Yeah, so where can we find y'all? We want to find y'all next week watching us with another episode of the amazing Lottery. Holla at your boy.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.